Welcome everybody, my name's Hiko Simon. I am, as well as having Hiko Simon, having my own regular YouTube channel, I also am the guy who invented MyChan TV, which is a website to enable people to basically keep up and watch all the YouTube subs and not get distracted by the algorithm, and to watch the subs the way that people want to watch the subs, which is we want to watch it like TV. We want to be able to organize by TV channels, different themes, because we don't always subscribe to the same thing. It's really made for power users who have a lot of subscriptions but want to keep up with their content. And so we have a lot of updates happening with the site at the moment, and around that, because of that, I'm keeping up pretty closely with what's happening around YouTube as well. And so around that, I've got some updates, just YouTube related updates that I'm going to go through first, and then I'm going to go into the regular updates for my Hiko Simon sort of news show on Tokyo Tonight. So in terms of MyChan TV itself, so the big news this week is that we actually started the work after a bit of a pause. The site is working great at the moment. You can subscribe, unsubscribe, or not subscribe, but you can unsubscribe to channels, you can organize them into bundles, you can autoplay those bundles to watch all your content as easily as you like. But we're going to add some new functionality, basically all the new functions. I've gone and spent a whole bunch of money developing the site, and now I've got to try to maintain the overhead for the site, and I want to add some new features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a membership system on the site where it's free for everybody, and it's going to stay free for everybody as it is right now, and it works pretty well right now. But what I really want to do is I want to add some more features, starting off with it's kind of funny, sometimes like when I'm washing the dishes or vacuuming, I want to watch long videos, like longer than 10 minutes or whatever, or podcast type content, and it's fun just to listen, like when I'm going around doing something that takes some time. At the same time, when I'm on the train in the morning, I want to catch up on as many vids as possible and feel like I'm catching up with what's going on. So you always hate it when you're going through a bunch of 2-minute videos and you feel like you're making progress getting through your subscriptions, and all of a sudden you hit a 1-hour video or something like that you don't want to watch at that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm developing to add in a duration filter, which means that you can actually, people who subscribe to the site, like make a small contribution, which I'm thinking of making $3 or $5 per month, which will help just maintain the dev overhead that I'm using at the moment for the site. And they'll get the benefit of every new rollout that we do. Ultimately I'd really like to make a dedicated mobile app. That's where I want to go, but for now, I want to make it worthwhile for people who want to sign up to support the site. So we're going to start off with, when you're feeling like catching up with long form content, you can filter, so it will only show an autoplay within the bundles that you make, the longer videos, or if you want to catch up with shorter videos, you can just adjust it by time. And that works with this show as well, because I've got this 1-hour show every weekend, and I try to make long, shorter 10 minutes or less shows generally out of the segments of the show during the week. So there's an awesome new feature which we're developing, and we're actually integrating Stripe functionality, which will enable basically payments which for me to use to basically pay my developers and the overhead for the site, because right now it is actually costing, and it's all coming out of my pocket and there's nothing coming out of it. There's 2 ways I want to enable to pay, however, and that's the other thing that's really interesting right now. The first is, of course, having subscriptions built in for people who like the site and aren't particularly interested in me or this channel or whatever. I want to make it so that people can subscribe, and if you subscribe, you'll automatically basically get an account which will get the rollout introduction pro features, as well as every new pro feature in future, i.e. all the free users are going to pretty much get the site as is, but all of the pro users, you're going to get the benefit of all the updates that we add to the site. And there's plenty that I want to add on, plus you're going to get dibs on what the new features are. Ultimately, I'd love to get like an Apple TV app or an iOS and Android app or whatever, stuff like that, but I need help because I'm paying developers to help me make it. And it's a really fun project, and I want to make YouTube the ideal way to watch it for people who care about subscriptions. So if you're interested in that, that's one way, is being able to subscribe. The other thing, some people have mentioned that they say, why don't you just get a Patreon, because we just want to support all the things that you do, and maybe you'll move to another project after this and do other things. I thought that was cool, and I was looking at Patreon, and I was looking at the idea, well, if I had a Patreon and I could identify who the users are who are on a certain tier, I could make that a perk. I could actually manually add them and give them the pro features on MyChan TV as a perk. But then YouTube went and rolled out memberships, which is basically exactly what Patreon is, except it's baked into YouTube. And I was looking at that, and it's sort of like memberships are like a fix. They're like 490 yen in Japan, $5 in America, and it's of course YouTube takes a cut the same way that Patreon does. But it's basically people can, just like Patreon, become paid members of a channel, and the idea that YouTube encourages, it's just like on Patreon, you make special updates or special vids. But from my view, that seems like a pretty good way, and a way that I can track actually specific YouTube channels for going whitelisting. I'm thinking I could do memberships as well and allow members of the channel to go and to get the benefits of MyChan TV as well. And again, this would go on and allow me to do other things that I want to do, like I want to make an Alexa app. There's all sorts of ways in terms of how to get like an ideal YouTube player that's not out there right now that I think are really cool, as well as other projects that I'd love to do. So just for the idea that for that I went and checked the criteria, the eligibility criteria, and there's two. I'm trying to remember which is which. You need 30,000 subscribers to open a merch store, which I'm on 33. Every time that they keep cleaning up all of the dead channels, most of my channels are like 10 years old, and every time the number goes down whenever YouTube cleans them up, but I'm still above 30,000 for now, and based on that, you can, I qualify. And they didn't have this rolled out last time I checked, but I checked tonight, and the merch store, for a start, is available. So I enabled that, and that's another thing I'm going to get to in a moment. But the other thing is memberships is also working for me. So I figured, what the hell, well, seems easier than setting up Patreon and figuring out how to manually connect it to MyChan TV. So I'm going to set up the memberships on for the Hiko Simon channel, and I'm going to figure it out. Let me just get it all together at the moment. For now, you're certainly going to get specialized updates on the projects that I'm doing, music projects, web development projects, app projects, stuff like that. I will give updates like this available on that, but more than that, you guys who join that will get all the feature of all the stuff which I'm working on, which is just super cool and super fun. And I'm making it because I want to use it myself, and I want it to be useful for you guys, and you guys are the main people who have been supporting me to date on this stuff. So it's a way to do that. Which brings me back. The other thing is the merch store. You need 10,000 subscribers or more to do that, and it wasn't available in Japan when I looked 2 or 3 months ago, but I looked tonight and it was available. The merch store was 30,000, the memberships was 10,000, something like that. But I went and so I hooked up the merch store. It connects to Teespring, which isn't my favorite one of those services, but it's integrated with YouTube. And I went and applied, and it takes an authorization, and it got authorized. So I've just gone in and configured already a bunch of T-shirts and sort of swag in there. Now again, I'm not going to do that to make money, just to be clear. I put in the minimum price that I can see I can get away with. The cost price of the T-shirts is like $10, $20, and I tried to do that to make it zero profit. And it said, no, you have to put in more profit. And I played with it a few times, and for some reason you got to put like $1 on every time. But in the end of the day, I just want it to be. So what I've already done is I've got the digital data for the Tokyo Digital Crew shirts that I have that you've seen, as well as the Tokyo Tonight t-shirts, as well as the MyChan TV t-shirts. So mugs and t-shirts and a couple of hoodies and whatever. The idea is, for that, I'm not going to make money off that. I don't want to make money off that. But to the extent that you guys think that was cool, I thought that's another fun thing that I noticed when I was setting up YouTube tonight. So I'm setting up a merch store. It's all going to be as cheap as possible. It's pretty much just going to be the cost of the thing to Teespring, so they'll get their money. Yeah, it'll be kind of fun if you're into that, and you can order it. Won't be any hassle for me. When I got these MyChan TV shirts made, I went and personally ordered them. I had them all in this room. I actually took them to the post office. I mailed them one by one. I handwrote the addresses. It was a big pain. It was great to do. But yes, well, these are American sizes, Shizen-Taisu, so I'm sure you're going to be okay. Yes, I'm surprised at being authorized. I mean, I'm quite happy with how things are going along, but still, it's nice that I qualify for these things when I think they're clearly aimed for people who are much more active and popular on YouTube than me, but I'm glad if I get the benefit. Do they come in Taco Bell size? Asks Mr. Cordychair. Well, like I say, they come in American sizes, so I noticed there were like some 4XLs, I think, on some of the shirts, which was... I didn't realize that was a thing, but apparently it is. I don't know if that's a Taco Bell size. That's like the police taco that they use in Japan. So anyway, so swag. There's going to be swag available integrated into the YouTube app, the mobile app, and the online app. Which, if you guys want to get cool stuff, and again, especially stuff like the Tokyo Digital Crew stuff, I love that logo, and I haven't been very good at being active on that lately. But at the same time, that's just stuff that's just easy to make that way, right? It's just an easy way to get a cheap T-shirt or a hoodie that's got that on it. I'm not trying to make money off that. I am trying to make money off the memberships, and the purpose of that is to fund the development projects that I'm doing, which are to give to you guys. So, but that's how I'm going about that. So you'll see a few updates on the channel around that. And in that vein, I'm going to continue these sorts of YouTube news updates, since it's actually kind of interesting, including one that I noticed on the Creator. Lately, YouTube's been doing this YouTube channel called Creator Insider, where they actually have staff from YouTube coming out and casually in a vlog format like this, talking about the actual stuff that they're working on in the background of YouTube. And I really appreciate it, actually. I think it's really good that I've known people at YouTube, and I've been telling them for years that, rather than tell us how we should make our videos, you guys should have a go at making videos yourself, and you'll probably be surprised that you'll understand it a little bit better. They did mention as a side comment at the end of the last video that I saw anyway, I think there's been one or two other posted a video this week, that they're actually going to introduce autoplay onto subscriptions for some users as a test. Which is like, oh damn, that's like MyChanTV, except of course they're not bringing back collections, which they did run for a few years and got rid of, and I still hope that this is more niche than that. And in any case, I'm going to make it, I think it is already set up in a way that's worthwhile, but again, it's good for me. It's important for me to keep up with YouTube news, just so I know if I have to pack up the whole thing at some point. So yeah, so in terms of what was cool around YouTube news, in addition to, of course, the fact that, so MyChanTV, there is a test version apparently going up that I still haven't seen yet, but which will have this duration feature working, where you'll be able to filter the playlists on MyChanTV by duration of the videos in it, so you can watch all short videos and catch up on lots of videos, or long videos and enjoy, like if you're on a drive or something like that, which I think is super cool. I'm stoked about that. So look out for that soon, as well as subscriptions are going to get rolled out pretty soon, so look out for some updates probably next week.